right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back from my Disney World trip in the swing of things, and what better way to get back than to jump right into some rogue actions? Heinzie, it was a big week while I was gone. Lots happened. How you doing?
As always, Cubs. Good morning. Good morning, Cubs fam. Good morning, everyone out there. Dude, how was your holiday? How was your break?
Oh, it was so
well-earned break, I'm sure.
Yeah, Disney World was great. I hope some of you guys were able to come to my Galaxy's Edge stream. It was really fun to share that with a lot of you guys. If you didn't get to catch it, maybe I'll re-upload that on YouTube actually. So stay tuned for that sometime this week. But yeah, it was really good. I love taking the kids there. It was nice to take a mental break, and I feel really energized and ready to pop back in the swing of things because I missed a lot this last week.
A week is a long time in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Let's be honest. A fair bit happened while you were gone. We've definitely got a lot to talk about today. There's been a few things happening, so very, very interesting week. We've had all sorts of crazy stuff happen.
Yeah, so I was paying attention from afar. I did unplug quite a bit, especially from Discord and the forums. I was not paying attention. I had a couple people keeping me a little updated on what was going on. But Heinzie's really filled me in. We're going to discuss the week now. But first of all, I want to share a meme of the week with you guys, and then we're gonna debate here. Would we rather see a legendary Echo or a legendary Rex coming with the Bad Batch? I think that's going to be an interesting debate because both characters are very beloved by everybody, especially Heinzie and I. And then also we're going to talk about this Conquest Blunder and what went wrong and why I feel like this was really problematic for some people and not so much for others. So let's start with the meme of the week here. Heinzie sent me both of these. I think they're both worthy of meme of the week status. So, yes, the negotiator. You take Anakin's right arm and I'll take the rest later.
It's a good one. I do like that one.
I love the way he's sitting there thinking it and considering it. He's like, yeah, fair trade. And then this one's really good. Here's Grievous on the hunt for Rey's buried lightsabers to add to his collection.
They're both fantastic. I couldn't help it. I had to bring them up. They're both good. I like the Grievous one. You just see him searching there with the
metal detectors.
With the metal detectors. That's a win right there. It's classic.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's always good Star Wars memes. Always good Star Wars memes. All right, let's talk about Echo versus Rex. So we know we're going to get the 4 main Bad Batch characters, right? Wrecker's coming this week. That's the third of 4. And then rounding out the Bad Batch, I would expect we would get either Echo or Rex. Both seem to be pretty involved. I think Echo is the most likely, but I'm kind of feeling like one of those two characters is likely to be the legendary event. Wouldn't you expect, Heinzie? And if so, which one do you think should be the legendary event?
From what we've seen with all the trailers and everything in the lead up to this, we know even from watching the Clone Wars, of course, which I love the Bad Batch episodes when they came out.
Oh,
I thoroughly enjoyed.
Good.
They were incredible. They really, really were.
We're in for a treat.
And I did. And I liked the whole storyline with, Echo finding a new home, basically. Yeah. I mean, with everything he's been through and all the trauma he's been through to get to where he is today, joining the Bad Batch is a logical choice for him.
Yeah.
And I think that to me just makes perfect sense in that lineup going forward. We're going to see a lot of him with these guys. We know that. He's joined the team. It has to be Echo. I love Rex. Don't get me wrong. I love Rex. He's great, but I just think Echo is the logical option here. I just believe that.
Do you expect to receive a new version of Rex as well?
Look,
because
I'm not going to say no.
If we're going to do a legendary, you need 5 characters and then 1 legendary, right?
I'd love another Rex. I mean, Rex is awesome. I mean, I would love another Rex-late character that could go in and just rip heads. I just don't think we're going to see it. I just don't think so.
You're thinking no Rex and just Echo.
I'm thinking no Rex. I think Echo is going to round out. You're going to have, so you're going to have Hunter, you're going to have Wrecker, you're going to have Tech, you're going to have Crosshair, and you're going to have Echo. I think that's the 5.
If that's the 5, though, then Echo, I would assume, would just be a marquee event. And we wouldn't have a legendary with Bad Batch. Are you predicting no legendary event, or are you predicting a legendary event with just 4 characters and maybe add 1?
I look, again, subject to change. You never know what you're going to get. We could get, again, we look, I'm really not sure. We could get an upgraded Cody. I've been having fun with Cody during these particular events when the characters have been released. we could see something with regard to a new Cody leading the way still.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I just see Echo. I mean, we could get a new Rex, but I just don't think we'll see it. I think, Rex is going his own way again. He's going back to, the Galactic Republic after those last episodes. I just don't see that happening.
But we're
It may
seeing
be
him
for
in the
another.
trailer. We're seeing him in the trailer.
Yeah, we see him. He's still going to be in it, but I just don't think he's integral to that lineup. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm still not quite sure. I'm not going to lie. But Echo's a definite. Whether he's definitely going to be in this lineup. Where he fits in, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. So I'm inclined to agree with you. I do think we're going to get the 5 with Echo being a marquee event is what I'm specifically predicting. And I think that those 5 Bad Batch characters will be used to unlock a legendary character. Last week we talked about the potential of maybe Tarkin being one of those characters. If it's not Tarkin,
Maybe.
I think Rex is actually another version of Rex could be a really logical choice. Because he seems to be involved. He's a very, very key, important character to Star Wars. And so I guess really where I'm coming from and where this, if some people are thinking, man, this speculation, I don't know, Cubs. Where this is coming from is it seems unlikely to me that we're going to get 5 Bad Batch characters and have them not lead to some kind of legendary event. I just, based on what I know from CG, I feel like this is building towards something where we're going to need these characters, right? And so I'm trying to make sense of what character is that going to be. It would be so much easier if there were 6 Bad Batch characters, Maybe we'd say, all right, we're going to get the 5, and then Echo's going to be the legendary. But because we only have 4 plus Echo, it just, I can't figure out how a legendary event's going to make sense there unless we get the 5 Bad Batch, including Echo, and it bleeds into something else. And so who makes sense? Maybe we won't really know what makes sense until we see the series, but I could see Rex being it.
Possibly. I mean, we know Fennec is going to be in the show as well. We've seen Fennec in there as well. And this could be bringing Fennec Shand into the mix. I'm not thinking legendary. Yeah. I'm just saying that it could lead to some sort of an event where you need her to unlock Fennec, who could boost your bounty hunters or something else. You never know. Scoundrels.
I would love to have Fennec in this game. We'll have to see how key she is to Bad Batch, the series itself. But it almost feels more logical to me to wait to bring her in until Book of Boba Fett. Once that hits, and focus on Bad Batch right now. So we'll have to see. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what to do. And maybe we're overanalyzing it. We've done that before.
Maybe.
We're YouTubers. It's kind of like our gig, right? But maybe they're just going to give us the 5 marquee characters and that's it.
One thing I will say, just to finish this conversation off, is that I still believe that this is still a smokescreen for something bigger. And again, I don't know anything. Only my opinion. Only my instinct. I think there's something bigger around the corner after the Bad Batch are released. We'll just wait and see.
Yeah, I think there's something bigger too. I don't know. Also, a quick side note, I thought it was really interesting that we had a puzzle for Wrecker when we already knew Wrecker was coming.
Oh, look. Okay.
I love puzzles.
Don't get me started. The first poster,
are great.
Right? The puzzles don't worry me. The very first poster comes out, okay, when Hunter's announced.
Yeah.
And there's 4 missing little squares in the announcement with dates of releases. Of course, we're going to know what the characters are that they're going to release in those, right? I mean, seriously.
Watch your mouth, man.
No, you watch yours.
Man, freaking Heinzie. You're such an Australian, always dropping words. Like,
can't take me. Can't take me anywhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Take the swear button away. Okay, let's move on. We'll see what they do. It's going to be interesting. We're probably going to find out within the next few weeks. So let's talk about this Conquest Blunder. So I was definitely detached from the timeline for Conquest because I was busy trying to get in line for Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance and everything while that was going on. But we had Conquest drop, and then the plug got pulled because we had a pretty significant problem with Jedi Luke, where his stamina was, from what I understand, affecting him in other areas of the game other than Conquest, which obviously needed to be fixed. Seems like the only way that they could have possibly fixed this was with pulling the plug on Conquest. Now the problem is Conquest was up long enough that how many people, Heinzie, had already made it into Sector 4, I think some even Sector 5, potentially, had spent resources. I know that they've offered crystal refunds if anybody spent refreshes on energy. But the time and effort and investment that went into that. Do you feel like this was a pretty big blunder? Do you feel like the way they handled this was unfair?
Okay, so I wouldn't say unfair. I think something had to be done. I think we all agree with that.
I will agree with that.
One thing I'm a little bit disappointed about, and I'm not going to lie, is that they said at the start they're going to do 2 exhibition conquests, right? And then they're going to analyze those, take some time, make appropriate changes, and then re-release it, full steam ahead going forward. Now, in those 2 weeks, we know that there are certain issues with Conquest, things like, the feats when you go up against the bosses are shadowed out. They're grayed out. You can't read them. Yeah. In some cases, you've got to open it and close it again.
And that
stuff wasn't fixed. Yeah. That was still there. Things like that, which are fundamental basics that we already knew were problems, and they were really simple, obvious things where they had time to fix it and probably should have focused more on that, should have been done, and nothing had changed. They mentioned they were going to change the bosses, and we talked about that in a Rogue Actions video before. Should they change the bosses and all that? We've been through all this, haven't we? They said they would. No
boss changes.
No boss changes. Those sorts of things, guys, if you're going to mention them, how about you do them? I'm just saying, it's this crazy concept. It wouldn't be a bad thing. Got to keep it fresh. We love the gameplay. Don't get me wrong. Conquest is great, and I'm not bagging it. All I'm saying is if you say that you're going to make appropriate changes and things, you're going to take time to fix things, it'd be great if we actually did.
Or communicate.
Or say that you're working on them at least.
Here's something that they can do that I think easily mitigates that is come out and say, hey, we mentioned we're going to change the bosses. We mentioned we're going to do some tuning on bugs and stuff. Those changes aren't ready. Here's the new Conquest. It's going to be just like the last one, and then we'll let you know once those changes are ready to go live. Done. That's all they need to say. That's all they need to say. And then it sets the expectation. But I think where the disappointment comes in is when we're expecting, based on what they said, it's not like a blind expectation of, oh, well, I think they should do this. It's coming directly from their mouth. It's coming directly from what they told us they would do. And so I think it's reasonable for there to be some community disappointment there when they don't deliver on that. And so, yeah, I think that's a great point.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense. I mean, mistakes happen, errors happen within the game. Mechanics change, things like that. We totally get it. We know that problems will arise. That's fine.
And we are recording this live. I see a comment that bosses will change the second Conquest from now. Thank you, Rico, for mentioning that. If there's some text that maybe Heinz and I are missing where they did communicate that, then I will retract what I just said, because that's the kind of communication we do need. Maybe we just missed it. So let us know, Rico, if that is the case, and we'll call it out.
Cool. But still, I mean, these other fundamental changes, these easy changes that they were going to do, the shadowing and stuff like that with the boss feats, simple things like that we knew were an obvious problem. They knew that they were there. Yeah. They're a simple focus.
We got to address these.
You got to fix that stuff, guys. Or at least say, hey, look, taking a bit longer than we thought.
The grayed out feats drives me nuts. Out of everything that is buggy about Conquest, that's the one that makes me want to pull my hair out.
It is. You want to be able to read the damn thing. You don't want to go back out and come back in again and hopefully see them.
I really want them to change it when you're replaying Conquest. Have it be on the node when you go in there. Have it start on the last node that you fought. Okay, instead of going all the way to the end every time, because then you got to go refine your place when you're going through things. You know what I'm saying? It drives me nuts.
I do. No, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're getting technical now. So,
no, that's cool.
All right, let's move on then. We're gonna go over to Heinz's video. We got 3 more subjects to talk about. We're gonna compare. Fives and Wrecker. What is gonna be the better clone tank at this point? I think that's gonna be a spirited debate. And then also we're gonna talk a little bit about the Razor Crest reward. Oh, okay. Sounds like Crumb popped in the RSG stream this past week.
Ah, there we go.
And
gotcha.
Maybe had clarified that. And so if that's the only, thank you, Go Cubs. If that's the only clarification we've had, it's great that he clarified that there. I think that's something that should be clarified a little more clearly to the rest of the community. But I'm glad that Crumb at least is getting out there and talking to things. And by the way, quick side note before we end the video. I do love how often I'm seeing Crumb and Doja showing up in everybody's streams.
Keep that coming. Keep doing that.
Stop swearing.
I know there's some other stuff they're doing all over the place.
Potty mouth. You keep saying bad words.
I can't help it. I'm Australian.
Why'd you have to say that, Rod? You poo face. You poo mouth. You got poo poo.
I hate you, poo poo anymore.
I hate you.
It's not poo poo. It's That's what it is. Come on, bro. You're better than that. Come